Metaphysics is an intriguing field of study that offers us a deeper understanding of the nature of reality. In this beginner's guide, we will embark on a journey to explore the fundamental questions that metaphysics seeks to answer. By delving into these topics, we can gain valuable insights into the nature of existence, knowledge, and the world around us. Metaphysics can be defined as the branch of philosophy that explores the fundamental nature of reality, being, and existence. It goes beyond what we can observe and perceive with our senses, aiming to uncover the underlying principles and structures that shape our world. Metaphysics tackles profound questions about the nature of reality itself, the origins of the universe, the essence of consciousness, and the relationship between mind and matter. Metaphysics plays a crucial role in helping us comprehend the nature of reality. While science investigates the physical world through empirical observation and experimentation, metaphysics takes a more abstract and philosophical approach. It provides a framework for contemplating questions that science alone cannot answer, such as the nature of consciousness, the existence of non-physical entities, and the limits of human knowledge. By engaging with metaphysical concepts, we gain a broader perspective on reality. Metaphysics encourages us to examine our assumptions and challenge the limits of our understanding. It helps us ponder profound questions about the nature of existence, the meaning of life, and our place in the universe. Furthermore, metaphysics can enhance our critical thinking skills. It trains us to analyze concepts and arguments rigorously, enabling us to evaluate different perspectives and form well-reasoned opinions. By delving into metaphysical inquiries, we develop a deeper appreciation for the complexity and interconnectedness of the world. Ultimately, the study of metaphysics can have a profound impact on our lives. It prompts us to reflect on the fundamental questions that shape our understanding of reality and our place in it. In the following sections, we will take a 60,000-foot view of metaphysics and explore foundational concepts, different metaphysical frameworks, and how metaphysics intersects with many other areas of philosophy. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. Foundational concepts. Epistemology, the study of knowledge and its limits. In our exploration of metaphysics, we encounter the foundational concept of epistemology. Epistemology is the branch of philosophy that investigates the nature of knowledge, how it is acquired, and the boundaries of our understanding. By examining epistemological questions, we can better grasp the foundations upon which our understanding of reality is built. Rationalism versus empiricism. Epistemology explores two primary approaches to acquiring knowledge: rationalism and empiricism. Rationalism asserts that knowledge can be obtained through reason and logical deduction. It suggests that certain truths can be known a priori, independent of sensory experience. Rationalists argue that concepts like mathematics and logical truths are innately known and do not rely on empirical evidence. On the other hand, empiricism emphasizes the role of sensory experience in acquiring knowledge. Empiricists argue that all knowledge ultimately stems from our interactions with the world through our senses. According to this perspective, we gather information through observation, experimentation, and empirical evidence. Empiricists contend that knowledge is built upon our sensory perceptions and that we rely on these experiences to form beliefs about the world. The nature of truth and belief. Epistemology also delves into the nature of truth and belief. Truth is a fundamental concept that philosophers have debated for centuries. It encompasses the correspondence between our beliefs or statements and the way things actually are in the world. Epistemologists explore questions such as: how do we determine whether a belief is true or false? What criteria do we use to evaluate the truth value of our beliefs? Belief, on the other hand, refers to our mental acceptance or conviction in the truth of a particular proposition or claim. Epistemology examines the conditions under which a belief can be considered justified or rational. It investigates the processes through which we form beliefs, the standards of evidence we use to support them, and the criteria we employ to evaluate their reliability. Understanding the foundational concepts of epistemology is crucial in metaphysics because our understanding of reality is built upon our knowledge and beliefs. By examining the rationalist-empiricist debate and contemplating the nature of truth and belief, we develop a more nuanced perspective on how we come to know and understand the world around us. Ontology, the study of being and existence. As we delve further in, we encounter another essential concept: ontology. Ontology is the branch of philosophy that explores the nature of being, existence, and the fundamental constituents of reality. By exploring ontology, we can deepen our understanding of the underlying fabric of the universe. Substance theory versus process philosophy. Ontology encompasses various philosophical perspectives, including substance theory and process philosophy. Substance theory posits that reality is composed of distinct, independent entities or substances. According to this view, objects or individuals possess inherent properties that define their essence and distinguish them from other entities. Substance theory often employs the metaphor of building blocks to describe the fundamental components of reality. In contrast, process philosophy emphasizes the dynamic and interconnected nature of existence. Process philosophers argue that reality is constantly changing and evolving. They propose that everything is in a state of flux, and entities are better understood as ongoing processes rather than fixed substances. Process philosophy highlights the interconnectedness and interdependence of events and objects, emphasizing the relational nature of reality. The problem of identity and change. Within the realm of ontology, we encounter the intriguing problem of identity and change. This problem revolves around the question of how entities persist through time while undergoing transformations. We observe that objects and individuals change over time, but they still maintain some sense of identity. Different philosophical theories offer perspectives on the problem of identity and change. Psychological continuity theories, for example, argue that personal identity is based on the continuity of mental states, memories, and consciousness. According to this view, our identity is defined by the ongoing psychological experiences that link our past, present, and future selves. In contrast, bodily continuity theories assert that personal identity is grounded in the continuity of our physical bodies. They suggest that our identity remains intact as long as there is an unbroken physical connection between our past and present bodies. These theories prompt us to reflect on thought experiments such as the ship of Theseus, which raises questions about the persistence of identity in the face of gradual replacement of parts. They challenge us to consider whether identity is solely tied to the mind, the body, or perhaps a combination of both. We'll elaborate more on these thought experiments later on. Metaphysics and language. The intersection between metaphysics and language is a fascinating and intricate realm where the fundamental nature of reality converges with the intricate web of human communication. Language is the tool through which we express our thoughts, ideas, and perceptions, enabling us to communicate and make sense of the world. When these two realms intersect, they offer profound insights into how we perceive and interpret reality. Metaphysical inquiries often delve into abstract concepts such as time, causality, identity, and consciousness. These inquiries require a means of expression and communication, which is where language becomes paramount. Language serves as a vehicle for metaphysical exploration, as it allows us to articulate and share our metaphysical ideas. Through language, philosophers develop intricate systems of concepts and theories, creating a common ground for discussing and analyzing metaphysical questions. Metaphysical concepts and ideas are conveyed through words and phrases, shaping the discourse and framing the boundaries of our understanding. At the same time, language is not a neutral tool. It possesses its own complexities, limitations, and biases. Language structures our thoughts and influences our perception of reality. Different languages offer distinct ways of categorizing and conceptualizing the world. For example, the concept of time can be expressed differently in different languages, leading to alternative philosophical viewpoints on temporal existence. Furthermore, language shapes our understanding of metaphysical concepts through its inherent structure. The use of nouns, verbs, adjectives, and other linguistic elements constrains our expression of metaphysical ideas. Language imposes boundaries on the range of concepts we can articulate, potentially limiting our ability to grasp certain metaphysical truths that lie beyond linguistic expression. Metaphysics also challenges the assumptions and limitations of language itself. It pushes us to question the adequacy of language in capturing the true nature of reality. Metaphysical inquiries often confront the ineffable and the transcendent aspects that lie beyond the scope of ordinary language. Thinkers throughout history, from Plato to Heidegger, have grappled with the inherent limitations of language when it comes to expressing metaphysical ideas accurately. However, despite these limitations, language remains an indispensable tool for metaphysical exploration. It allows us to engage in complex debates, refine our ideas, and convey our insights to others. Through language, we can develop precise definitions, construct logical arguments, and create conceptual frameworks that aid our understanding of metaphysical concepts. Moreover, language also influences the formation of metaphysical concepts themselves. As language evolves and changes over time, it can shape and transform our metaphysical discourse. New linguistic constructs can give rise to novel ways of thinking about reality and spark fresh metaphysical inquiries. The development of scientific language, for instance, has expanded our metaphysical understanding of the natural world and our place within it. In conclusion, the intersection between metaphysics and language is a dynamic and intricate space where our exploration of reality converges with the tools we use to express and communicate our ideas. Language serves as the medium through which metaphysical concepts are conveyed, debated, and refined. It both enables and limits our understanding of metaphysics, shaping our perception of reality while simultaneously challenging the boundaries of language itself. By embracing this intersection, we can delve deeper into the nature of existence and unlock new insights into the fundamental fabric of reality. Ontological pluralism, a perspective that challenges the notion of a singular, unified categorization of reality. Ontological pluralism proposes that there are multiple legitimate ways to understand and classify the nature of existence, opening the door to diverse ontological frameworks. In this section, we will embark on a journey through ontological pluralism, exploring different frameworks such as essentialism, nominalism, and trope theory, while addressing the challenges and implications this perspective presents in the field of metaphysics. At the core of ontological pluralism lies the recognition that reality is not easily captured by a single overarching system of classification. Instead, it acknowledges the multiplicity and diversity of ontological categories that can be used to make sense of the world. This approach challenges traditional assumptions of a fixed and unified ontology, instead embracing the fluidity and complexity of existence. One significant ontological framework is essentialism, which posits that objects possess essential properties, that define their identity. Essentialism seeks to identify the necessary and sufficient conditions that make an entity what it fundamentally is. This perspective anchors its understanding of reality in the concept of essences, which are believed to confer inherent characteristics and qualities upon entities. Essentialism raises intriguing questions about the nature of identity, the stability of essences, and the potential for cross-contextual variations. In contrast to essentialism, nominalism rejects the existence of universal essences and instead emphasizes the individuality and particularity of objects. Nominalists argue that the categories we use to classify reality are merely linguistic constructs or labels that facilitate communication and understanding. According to this perspective, there are no inherent essences or universal properties that define objects. Instead, reality consists of a collection of unique individuals without overarching commonalities. Nominalism challenges us to critically examine the basis of our conceptual frameworks and to reconsider the nature of generalizations and categories. Another compelling ontological framework is trope theory, which focuses on the qualities or tropes that objects possess. Tropes are seen as the fundamental building blocks of reality, representing specific instances of properties or qualities. Unlike universal essences in essentialism, tropes are understood to be context-specific and instantiated by individual objects. Trope theory offers a nuanced understanding of the diversity and relational nature of properties, encouraging us to explore the dynamic interplay between objects and their qualities. Ontological pluralism presents several challenges and implications for metaphysics. One key challenge is the tension between the desire for a unified and comprehensive understanding of reality and the recognition of its inherent diversity and complexity. Ontological pluralism calls into question the possibility of achieving a complete and consistent ontology and challenges us to navigate the tensions between different ontological frameworks. Furthermore, ontological pluralism raises questions about the relationship between language, concepts, and reality. If reality can be understood through multiple ontological lenses, how do we reconcile the variations in our conceptual frameworks? This inquiry invites us to explore the interplay between language, perception, and the construction of our understanding of the world. Ontological pluralism also has implications for our understanding of truth and knowledge. If reality is multifaceted and can be comprehended through different ontological frameworks, how do we determine the truth of our claims? This challenge invites us to reflect on the nature of truth, the limits of our knowledge, and the potential for different perspectives to coexist. Moreover, ontological pluralism encourages us to embrace epistemic humility and openness to alternative ways of understanding reality. It fosters a spirit of intellectual curiosity and invites us to engage in fruitful dialogue and exploration across different ontological frameworks. By recognizing the multiplicity of perspectives, we can enrich our understanding of the world and deepen our appreciation for its intricate and multifaceted nature. The nature of reality. Metaphysical frameworks. In our exploration of metaphysics, we encounter different metaphysical frameworks that offer distinct perspectives on the nature of reality. These frameworks provide diverse lenses through which we can understand and interpret the fundamental fabric of existence. Idealism. The belief that reality is fundamentally mental or subjective. Idealism is a metaphysical framework that posits that reality is fundamentally mental or subjective in nature. According to idealists, the ultimate nature of reality lies in the realm of ideas, consciousness, or the mind. They argue that the physical world we perceive is shaped by our perceptions, thoughts, and experiences. Idealism suggests that our mental states and perceptions play a significant role in shaping our understanding of reality. Materialism. The belief that reality is composed of physical matter. Materialism, also known as physicalism, holds that reality is composed entirely of physical matter or energy. Materialists argue that everything that exists can be reduced to or explained by physical entities or processes. They assert that the mind and consciousness are products of physical processes occurring in the brain. Materialism often aligns closely with scientific inquiry and seeks to explain the nature of reality through empirical observation and experimentation. Dualism. The belief in the existence of both physical and non-physical entities. Dualism posits that reality consists of both physical and non-physical entities, or substances. Dualists believe that there are two distinct categories of existence: the physical and the non-physical, often referred to as the mind or consciousness. Dualism suggests that the mind or consciousness is separate from and independent of the physical body. This framework raises intriguing questions about the relationship between the mind and the body, including how they interact and influence each other. Non-duality. The belief in the unity and non-separation of mind and reality. Non-duality is a metaphysical framework that challenges the traditional dualistic view of the mind-body relationship. It proposes that the mind and reality are not separate entities, but rather an inseparable unity. Non-duality suggests that the distinction between the observer and the observed, subject and object, is illusory. According to this perspective, there is no inherent separation between the individual and the external world. Non-duality emphasizes the concept of oneness, asserting that all apparent divisions are ultimately illusions created by the mind. It suggests that the sense of individuality or ego is a construct that obscures the fundamental unity of existence. From a non-dual perspective, the mind and body are not separate entities, but rather different expressions of the same underlying reality. These metaphysical frameworks offer contrasting perspectives on the nature of reality. Idealism emphasizes the role of the mind and subjective experience. Materialism focuses on the physical world, and dualism acknowledges the existence of both physical and non-physical aspects of reality. Each framework presents unique insights and challenges, stimulating philosophical inquiry and debate. Understanding these metaphysical frameworks helps us appreciate the diverse ways in which philosophers have grappled with the nature of reality. By examining the perspectives of idealism, materialism, and dualism, we gain valuable insights into how different philosophers have attempted to explain the fundamental nature of existence. We'll be dissecting these frameworks separately in upcoming episodes. The mind-body problem. As we delve deeper into metaphysics, we encounter a perplexing question that has intrigued philosophers for centuries: the mind-body problem. This enigma revolves around understanding the relationship between the mind and the body, and it arises from the diverse metaphysical frameworks we explored earlier. Different theories on the relationship between the mind and the body. The mind-body problem presents us with a variety of theories that attempt to explain how the mental and physical aspects of our existence interact. Let's explore some of these theories. Dualism. Dualism, as we explored earlier, posits the existence of both a physical body and a non-physical mind or consciousness. Dualists believe that the mind and body are distinct entities that interact in some ways, yet the precise nature of this interaction remains a subject of debate. Interactionism. Interactionism, a dualistic theory, suggests that the mind and body exert causal influence on each other. It proposes that mental events can impact physical events and vice versa. However, how this interaction occurs and the mechanisms involved are matters of ongoing philosophical investigation. Idealism and materialism perspectives. From an idealist standpoint, the mind and consciousness shape our perception of the physical world. On the other hand, materialism contends that mental states and consciousness are ultimately reducible to physical processes occurring in the brain. Both perspectives offer contrasting views on the nature of the mind-body relationship. Non-duality. Non-duality is a philosophical perspective that challenges the traditional dualistic understanding of the mind-body relationship. It asserts that there is no fundamental separation between the mind and the body, or between the individual and the external world. Non-duality suggests that the sense of a separate self or individual identity is illusory, and that all phenomena, including thoughts and sensations, arise within a unified field of awareness. According to the non-dualistic view, the mind and body are not two separate entities that interact with each other, but rather two aspects of the same underlying reality. Consciousness is considered the fundamental essence of existence, and all mental and physical experiences arise within this consciousness. Exploring consciousness and subjective experience. Within the mind-body problem lies the profound mystery of consciousness itself. Consciousness refers to our subjective experience, the awareness we have of ourselves and the world around us. It is a complex phenomenon that continues to challenge our understanding. Exploring consciousness and subjective experience prompts us to consider questions such as: what is the nature of consciousness? Does it arise from physical processes in the brain? Can consciousness be fully explained by scientific and materialistic explanations, or does it require additional metaphysical considerations? Philosophers, neuroscientists, and psychologists have proposed various theories and approaches to understanding consciousness, including theories of higher order thoughts, integrated information, and the hard problem of consciousness. These theories delve into the intricacies of subjective experience, attempting to shed light on the relationship between the mind, the body, and the phenomenon of consciousness. Causality and determinism. The concept of causality. Causality plays a fundamental role in our understanding of how events and phenomena unfold in the world. Causality refers to the relationship between cause and effect, where one event, known as the cause, brings about another event, known as the effect. Understanding causality helps us make sense of the connections and patterns that shape our experiences and observations. The principle of sufficient reason. The principle of sufficient reason is a foundational principle in metaphysics that asserts that every event or fact has a reason or explanation. According to this principle, there is always a why behind every event, phenomenon, or state of affairs. It suggests that nothing occurs or exists without a sufficient cause or reason behind it. The principle of sufficient reason encourages us to seek explanations and explore the causes and conditions that give rise to particular events or phenomena. By embracing this principle, we can develop a deeper understanding of the underlying mechanics that govern the world and expand our knowledge of reality. The problem of free will and determinism. Causality intertwines with the intriguing problem of free will and determinism. Free will refers to the capacity to make choices and decisions that are not determined by external forces. Determinism, on the other hand, posits that every event is causally determined by preceding events and the laws of nature, leaving no room for true freedom of choice. The tension between free will and determinism has sparked philosophical debates throughout history. Some argue that if the determinism holds true, Our choices and actions are ultimately predetermined by the causal chain of events, undermining the notion of free will. Others propose compatibilism, a viewpoint that seeks to reconcile free will with determinism by suggesting that freedom lies in the ability to act in accordance with one's own desires and motivations, even if those desires and motivations are ultimately determined. This discussion raises profound questions about the nature of human agency, moral responsibility, and the limits of our control over our own lives. Exploring the problem of free will and determinism invites us to reflect on the interplay between causality, personal choice, and the complex factors that shape our actions and decisions. Different perspectives on causality and determinism. In our exploration of metaphysics, we encounter various perspectives that shed light on the intricate relationship between causality and determinism. These perspectives invite us to contemplate the nature of causation, the extent of determinism, and the implications they have for our understanding of reality and human agency. Hard determinism versus soft determinism. Hard determinism proposes that every event and action in the universe is causally determined by prior events and the laws of nature. According to this view, free will is an illusion, and our choices and actions are ultimately predetermined by the causal chains of events. Hard determinism implies that if we possessed complete knowledge of the initial conditions and laws governing the universe, we could predict with absolute certainty every event that would unfold. On the other hand, soft determinism, also known as compatibilism, seeks to reconcile determinism with the notion of free will. Soft determinism argues that although our choices and actions are influenced by preceding events and factors, we can still possess a meaningful sense of freedom and responsibility. Advocates of soft determinism propose that freedom lies not in the absence of causal determination, but in the ability to act in accordance with our own desires and motivations, even if those desires and motivations are shaped by external influences. The debate between hard determinism and soft determinism delves into the nature of human agency, moral responsibility, and the complexities of decision making. It challenges us to consider the interplay between causality and personal choice, and the extent to which we have control over our actions within a deterministic framework. Indeterminism and quantum mechanics. While determinism asserts that every event is causally determined, the notion of indeterminism challenges this deterministic perspective. Indeterminism suggests that there are events that occur without a determinate cause, introducing an element of chance or randomness into the fabric of reality. In the realm of quantum mechanics, indeterminism plays a significant role. Quantum mechanics describes the behavior of particles at the atomic and subatomic level, and it introduces a probabilistic understanding of the universe. According to quantum mechanics, certain events cannot be predicted with certainty, but instead involve probabilities. The interplay between determinism, indeterminism, and quantum mechanics presents intriguing avenues for metaphysical inquiry. It challenges us to reconsider the extent of causal determinism in the universe and invites speculation on the implications of indeterminacy for our understanding of reality and free will. We'll explore quantum mechanics in more detail in a separate episode. The intersection of metaphysics, science, and mathematics. The intersection between these subjects is a fascinating area of study that explores the fundamental nature of reality, the laws that govern it, and the abstract principles used to understand and describe it. Metaphysics, as we have already discussed, is a branch of philosophy that delves into the nature of existence, reality, and the fundamental questions about the nature of being. Science, on the other hand, is an empirical and evidence-based discipline that investigates the natural world through observation, experimentation, and rigorous analysis. Mathematics provides the language and tools necessary for both science and metaphysics to describe and understand the underlying structures and patterns in the universe. By examining the relationship between these fields, we can gain deeper insights into the nature of reality and how we perceive and interpret it. Metaphysics deals with questions beyond the scope of empirical observation and seeks to understand the nature of reality at a fundamental level. It explores concepts such as the nature of time, causality, consciousness, free will, and the existence of abstract entities. Metaphysical inquiries often involve contemplating the nature of reality itself, the relationship between mind and matter, and the possibility of multiple dimensions or alternate realities. While metaphysics deals with concepts that are not directly testable through scientific methods, it provides a framework for discussing and exploring the fundamental nature of reality that can inspire scientific inquiry. Science, on the other hand, aims to explain and predict natural phenomena through systemic observation, experimentation, and the formulation of testable hypotheses. It relies on empirical evidence to develop theories and models that accurately describe and predict the behavior of the natural world. Science utilizes the scientific method, which involves making observations, formulating hypotheses, conducting experiments, and analyzing data to draw conclusions. By employing mathematics as a language of precise reasoning and measurement, scientists are able to formulate and express their theories and models with clarity and rigor. Mathematics provides the necessary tools for scientists to describe the patterns and relationships they observe in the natural world, allowing them to make predictions and further explore the underlying mechanisms of the universe. Mathematics as a discipline provides the abstract language and formal systems that underpin both science and metaphysics. It is a universal language that allows precise and concise expression of ideas, concepts, and relationships. Mathematics provides the tools for modeling and analyzing complex systems, from the behaviors of subatomic particles to the movements of celestial bodies. In science, mathematics is used to formulate and solve equations, create statistical models, develop algorithms, and analyze data. In metaphysics, mathematics can be used to explore abstract concepts such as the nature of infinity, the structure of logical systems, and the relationships between different entities or dimensions. The intersection between metaphysics, science, and mathematics occurs when these fields inform and enrich each other. Metaphysics can inspire scientific inquiry by posing questions about the nature of reality that lead to new hypotheses and theories. Science, in turn, can provide empirical evidence and data that either support or challenge metaphysical ideas. Mathematics acts as a bridge between the two, providing a precise and rigorous language for formulating and analyzing theories and models in both disciplines. Mathematical tools such as calculus, probability theory, and differential equations have been crucial in advancing scientific understanding and exploring metaphysical concepts. It is important to note that while metaphysics, science, and mathematics are distinct fields of study, they are interconnected and mutually influential. Metaphysical questions can motivate scientific investigations, and scientific discoveries can challenge or refine metaphysical assumptions. Mathematics provides the formal language and logical reasoning that facilitates both scientific and metaphysical inquiries. The intersection of these disciplines allows for a deeper exploration of the nature of reality, the limits of our knowledge, and the underlying principles that shape the universe we inhabit. By embracing the interplay between metaphysics, science, and mathematics, we can strive for a more comprehensive understanding of the world around us. Time and space. The nature of time. In our exploration of metaphysics, we encounter the captivating topic of time, which shapes our experience of the world and raises profound questions about the nature of existence and the passage of events. Time, as a fundamental aspect of reality, has been the subject of philosophical inquiry throughout history. Theories of time. Presentism versus eternalism. When contemplating the nature of time, two prominent theories emerge: presentism and eternalism. These theories offer contrasting perspectives on the ontological status of past, present, and future events. Presentism posits that only the present moment exists. According to this view, the past no longer exists, and the future is yet to unfold. Presentists argue that time is composed solely of the ever-changing present, and our experience of the world is shaped by this fleeting moment. Past events are seen as mere memories, and future events are considered possibilities that become actualized as they enter the present. In contrast, eternalism suggests that past, present, and future events all exist in some sense. Eternalists argue that time is a dimension that encompasses all moments, with past, present, and future being equally real. They propose that our experience of time as a linear progression through the present moment is a subjective perspective, and in reality, All moments exist simultaneously. This perspective challenges our intuitive understanding of time, but offers an intriguing alternative view. Time travel and its philosophical implications. The concept of time travel sparks our imagination and invites us to ponder its philosophical implications. While time travel remains hypothetical, contemplating its possibilities raises thought-provoking questions about the nature of time and causality. One of the fascinating paradoxes that arises in the context of time travel is the grandfather paradox. This paradox suggests that if time travel were possible, one could go back in time and alter events in a way that prevents their own existence, such as killing their own grandfather before they were born. The existence of such paradoxes prompts us to explore the implications of altering the past and the potential conflicts it poses with our understanding of causality and the principle of sufficient reason. Furthermore, the idea of time travel leads us to consider the nature of personal identity and persistence through time. If we were to travel to the past or the future, how would it impact our sense of self? Would we remain the same person? Or would we encounter versions of ourselves in different temporal contexts? Exploring the philosophical implications of time travel prompts us to confront the intricate relationship between time, causality, and personal identity. It challenges our intuitions and encourages us to critically examine our understanding of time and its role in shaping our experiences. The nature of space. The concept of space plays a vital role in our understanding of the physical world and our place within it. Philosophical inquiries into the nature of space have captivated thinkers for centuries, leading to debates and theories that offer alternative perspectives on its fundamental nature. Three-dimensional space versus higher dimensional theories. Traditionally, we perceive space as a three-dimensional framework that accommodates objects and their relations. This three-dimensional understanding of space forms the basis of our everyday experiences and observations. However, metaphysics invites us to consider whether space extends beyond our immediate three-dimensional perception. Some theorists propose the existence of higher dimensional space beyond our ordinary three dimensions. These higher dimensional theories posit that there may be additional spatial dimensions that are imperceptible to us. Although we cannot directly experience or visualize these additional dimensions, mathematics and theoretical physics offer frameworks that suggest their potential existence. Higher dimensional theories, such as those proposed in string theory or brain cosmology, spelled BRANE, expand our understanding of space beyond the familiar three dimensions. They present intriguing possibilities about the nature of reality and challenge us to consider the extent of spatial dimensions and their influence on the universe. Space-time and relativity. The interplay between space and time becomes particularly significant when we consider Einstein's theory of general relativity, which revolutionized our understanding of the fabric of the universe. According to general relativity, space and time are not separate entities, but are interconnected as a unified concept known as space-time. In the framework of space-time, the geometry of space and the flow of time are intertwined. Gravity, in this theory, is not a force acting between objects, but rather a curvature in the fabric of space-time caused by the presence of mass and energy. This understanding of space-time redefines our perception of space and time as dynamic and influenced by the distribution of matter and energy in the universe. Einstein's theory of general relativity offers a profound insight into the nature of space and its relationship with time. It demonstrates that our understanding of space is not fixed, but evolves with our understanding of the physical laws that govern the universe. Personal identity and persistence. The problem of personal identity. One of the fundamental inquiries within metaphysics pertains to the problem of personal identity, the question of what constitutes the essence of a person and how personal identity persists through time. This intriguing subject raises thought-provoking philosophical debates and invites us to reflect on the nature of our own existence. Theories of personal identity. Psychological continuity versus bodily continuity. When contemplating personal identity, two prominent theories emerge: psychological continuity and bodily continuity. These theories offer different perspectives on what defines our identity and how it persists over time. Psychological continuity theory posits that personal identity is grounded in the continuity of our psychological states, such as memories, beliefs, desires, and personal traits. According to this view, as long as there is a psychological continuity between our past and future selves, we maintain our personal identity. Psychological continuity emphasizes the importance of our mental and cognitive aspects in defining who we are. On the other hand, bodily continuity theory asserts that personal identity is rooted in the continuity of our physical body. According to this view, as long as there is a physical continuity in our bodily existence, our personal identity endures. Bodily continuity emphasizes the significance of our physical form and the material continuity of our existence. These theories of personal identity raise intriguing questions. Do our memories and mental states define who we are, or is it our physical body that grounds our identity? Can personal identity persist if there is a discontinuity in either our psychological or bodily aspects? Exploring these questions prompts us to critically examine our understanding of the self and the factors that shape our identity. Thought experiments and counter-arguments. The ship of Theseus and teleportation. Thought experiments have played a crucial role in the philosophical exploration of personal identity. Two notable examples are the ship of Theseus and the teleportation thought experiments, which challenge our intuitions and raise intriguing questions about the persistence of personal identity. The ship of Theseus thought experiment poses a paradox. Suppose a ship, known as the ship of Theseus, undergoes a gradual process of replacement where each of its original parts is replaced over time. Eventually, every single part of the ship has been replaced. The question then arises, is the reconstructed ship still the same ship as the original ship of Theseus? This paradox challenges our intuitions about personal identity and raises questions about the significance of continuity. If personal identity is contingent upon the continuous existence of the ship's original parts, then the reconstructed ship would not be considered the same. However, if personal identity is determined by the overall continuity and the preservation of certain essential properties, then we may conclude that the reconstructed ship is indeed the same as the original. The ship of Theseus thought experiment invites us to reflect on the nature of identity, considering whether personal identity is tied to the persistence of specific material components, or if it relies on broader criteria such as function, essence, or a narrative sense of continuity. Similarly, the teleportation thought experiment challenges our intuitions about personal identity in the context of instantaneous transportation. Imagine a scenario where advanced technology allows for the scanning of an individual's physical and mental states, enabling their exact replica to be created at a different location. The original person is then disintegrated after the replication process is complete, leaving behind only the replica. Is the replica still the same person as the original? From a psychological continuity perspective, one might argue that as long as the replica possesses the same memories, beliefs, and thoughts as the original, personal identity is preserved. However, others may contend that personal identity relies on bodily continuity and that the replica, although sharing identical mental states, is a distinct individual from the original. The teleportation thought experiment raises profound questions about the relationship between mind and body and the criteria for personal identity. It challenges us to contemplate whether personal identity is primarily rooted in our physical form or if it is grounded in our mental states and continuity of consciousness. These thought experiments and the ensuing debates serve as powerful tools for examining the complexities of personal identity. By questioning our intuitions and exploring the implications of these scenarios, we gain valuable insights into the nature of selfhood and the factors that contribute to the persistence of personal identity. Persistence through time. In our exploration of personal identity, we encounter the intriguing question of how individuals persist through time. This question delves into the nature of temporal continuity and invites us to consider different metaphysical theories that shed light on the concept of persistence. Endurance versus perdurance theories. Metaphysics offers two main theories to address the problem of persistence through time: endurance theory and perdurance theory. These theories present distinct perspectives on how objects, including individuals, endure or perdure over temporal intervals. According to endurance theory, an individual endures as a unified entity throughout its entire existence. This perspective emphasizes the significance of a continuous and unchanging substance that remains the same entity across different moments in time. From an endurance perspective, personal identity relies on the persistence of the individual as a whole, with all its characteristics and properties intact. On the other hand, perdurance theory suggests that an individual perdures by existing as a series of distinct temporal parts or stages. This theory implies that personal identity consists of a series of momentary slices or temporal parts that collectively constitute an individual's existence. Perduranists argue that personal identity is not tied to the persistence of an enduring substance, but rather to the continuity of the temporal parts that compose an individual's entire temporal trajectory. Endurance and perdurance theories offer contrasting explanations for how personal identity persists through time. While endurance theory emphasizes the continuity of the individual as a unified whole, perdurance theory highlights the temporal continuity of an individual's momentary slices or stages. Time slice ontology and the problem of change. Within the context of persistence through time, the concept of time slice ontology arises, bringing attention to the intricate relationship between personal identity and the problem of change. Time slice ontology suggests that an individual's existence at any given moment is encapsulated within that particular slice or momentary stage. Personal identity, then, can be understood as the sum total of all these individual temporal slices. However, the problem of change poses a challenge to time slice ontology. As we go through life, we undergo physical, psychological, and experiential changes. These changes raise questions about personal identity. How do we maintain our identity despite the continuous transformations we undergo? What defines our persistence as the same individual over time? Metaphysical inquiries into personal identity and the problem of change prompt us to critically examine the nature of identity and its relationship to temporal continuity. The theories of endurance and perdurance, along with the framework of time slice ontology, provide different perspectives on the mechanisms of persistence and the role of change in shaping personal identity. Metaphysics and mysticism. Metaphysics and mysticism are two interconnected fields of study that delve into the nature of reality, consciousness, and the divine. While they have distinct approaches and methodologies, their paths often intersect, offering profound insights into the mysteries of existence. Mysticism is a spiritual or religious practice that aims to directly experience a deeper, transcendent reality beyond the limits of ordinary perception. Mystics seek a direct and personal connection with the divine or ultimate reality through intuitive or ecstatic states of consciousness. Mysticism often involves practices such as meditation, contemplation, prayer, and asceticism, which help individuals cultivate spiritual awareness and encounter the mysteries of existence. The intersection of metaphysics and mysticism occurs when metaphysical concepts and insights are integrated into mystical experiences and vice versa. Mysticism can provide a direct experiential validation of metaphysical ideas, while, while metaphysics can offer a conceptual framework for understanding and interpreting mystical experiences. For example, consider the concept of non-duality, which suggests that there is an underlying unity or oneness in all existence. Mystics from various traditions often report experiencing a profound sense of unity and interconnectedness during their mystical encounters. These experiences align with the metaphysical idea of non-duality, where the boundaries between self and other, subject and object, dissolve, revealing a fundamental unity of all things. Metaphysics can also inform mystical practices by providing a map of the cosmos and the nature of reality. Metaphysical frameworks, such as those found in ancient philosophies or modern quantum physics, can inspire and guide mystical seekers in their exploration of the nature of consciousness and the mysteries of existence. These frameworks can offer insights into the relationship between the physical world and the spiritual realm, shedding light on the interconnectedness of all things and the potential for transcendent experiences. Furthermore, metaphysical concepts can help mystics make sense of their experiences and articulate them to others. Mystical encounters often involve ineffable and transformative experiences that are difficult to put into words. Metaphysical ideas provide a language and conceptual tools that enable mystics to express and communicate their insights more effectively. Conversely, mysticism can enrich metaphysics by challenging conventional notions of reality and expanding the boundaries of human understanding. Mystical experiences often involve transcending ordinary modes of perception and encountering aspects of reality that lie beyond the grasp of the rational mind. These encounters can inspire metaphysical inquiries into the nature of consciousness, the limits of human knowledge, and the possibilities of existence beyond the physical realm. In conclusion, the intersection of metaphysics and mysticism represents a powerful synergy between conceptual exploration and the direct experiential insight. Mysticism provides a direct and personal encounter with the mysteries of existence, while metaphysics offers conceptual frameworks and tools to make sense of these experiences and explore the nature of reality. By integrating metaphysical concepts into mystical practices and using mystical experiences to inspire metaphysical inquiries, individuals can embark on a profound journey of self-discovery and deepen their understanding of the nature of existence and the divine. Importance of metaphysics in everyday life. Metaphysics may appear as a lofty and abstract discipline, but its importance extends beyond philosophical contemplation. Metaphysics plays a crucial role in shaping our worldview, influencing how we understand ourselves, others, and the world around us. It invites us to question assumptions, challenge preconceived notions, and engage in critical thinking. By exploring metaphysical concepts, we develop a deeper understanding of the nature of reality, enabling us to navigate the complexities of existence with greater clarity and insight. Metaphysics prompts us to reflect on fundamental questions of identity, purpose, and ethics, enriching our lives and expanding our intellectual horizons. Moreover, metaphysics fosters intellectual curiosity, encouraging us to engage in philosophical inquiry, engage in meaningful discussions, and broaden our perspectives. It nurtures a sense of wonder, inspiring us to explore the mysteries of the universe and our place within it. In conclusion, our exploration of metaphysics has introduced us to the foundational concepts, metaphysical frameworks, the mind-body problem, causality and determinism, time and space, personal identity, and persistence. By contemplating these profound questions, we enhance our understanding of reality and its implications for our existence. Metaphysics, far from being an esoteric discipline, holds the potential to enrich our lives, expand our perspectives, and inspire us to embark on a lifelong journey of intellectual exploration. That's it for this one. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I also urge you to check out the description. You will find resources that will be of benefit to you. One last thing, you can find all of our episodes on Spotify. Thank you very much for watching till the end and enjoy the rest of your day.